Hello. Well, I'm in the garden to start with today on this Saturday afternoon. Yes, we are doing bulbs. Bulbs because my friend purchased me some daffodil bulbs. Now, I've already attempted to put these in the garden with the spade. Very, very hard work. So we're going to take the easy route. Pots. Now, I say easy route unless you buy a very large bag of earth. God's sake. Now, I could have bought three smaller bags of earth, but to save £1.50, I purchased this one instead. Look at this. And it's so easy to bring that tiny little bit of colour into your garden just by planting a few bulbs in pots. Watch this. All you need is some old pots. You've probably got an old one hanging around somewhere, have you? Fill half with earth. Lovely to get your hands. Don't be doing this, oh, I'll get my hands dirty. My mate does gardening with rubber gloves on because he's so frightened of getting a little bit of dirt on his hands. We like dirty hands. That's how to do it. Do it properly, dear. So you want half a thing of earth. Now this is all it's all got a bit compacted. So thinking of one of your exes, take one of these and plunge it into the earth like you're stabbing them to death. Here we go. Stab and stab and die and stab and stab and die. Okay. Into the pot. Okay. Run about half full. And then bulbs. Just fill it up. I don't do any of that spacing. Just as long as they don't look too crowded, I suppose. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Can you see what I'm doing here? Yes, I think you can. Okay. Just like this. So easy, look. Just stick them in there. That's it. Instant gardening, that's what it's all about. We're not getting the spade out today, so there's going to be ending up probably about 12 of them in here. So easy, and they'll all come up at the same time. And you'll know when it's spring again. And then fill the rest out with earth. Right to the top. We need to do a bit more stabbing, I'm afraid. It's compacted. Compacted. Just a reminder, boys and girls, if you're a child watching this, please make sure you have an older parent, an adult, to assist you with the destruction of the bag of earth. Thank you. One moment, please. That's it. Done. There we are. And they come up in the spring and they look all nice and pretty. I've got 2 more to do, but not for you. Let's go to the studio. I do think that could become a regular feature, couldn't it? Gardening on a Saturday morning. And look, I've even washed my little pretty boy hands before I've come to speak to you this morning. Yes, my nephew, he fixes cars. You see him in the opening credits. He's the one in the top left-hand corner right at the end. If you speak to him, he's very sure of himself. Jimmy, 20 years. He's 21 next year. Big birthday party. Oh, yes. He's got a big birthday party in Woodhall Spa next year. 21st birthday party. And he's got the Rat Pack, or, a tribute Rat Pack to perform at his birthday party. How exciting is that? I shall be there, don't worry. The United Kingdom Talk television cameras will be there to cover the event, boys and girls. And he would say to you when he's working on his cars, I say, do you like that? Do you get much jobs, Jimmy? And he says, look at these hands, Uncle Chris. Look at these hands. Wouldn't you want these hands to work on your car? Sorry? Sorry? Anyway, let's say hello to some of your early birds this morning. Good morning to Ants Galloway. Congratulations, Ants. You get the first message in this morning. No doubt after seeing that little snatchette of a programme at the beginning of the show today, you will be probably rushing out later to buy yourself a bag of daffodil bulbs. Mine were given to me as a gift from best friend Ron, who's here this morning. I can't believe it. Good morning to Danny Davies from Welsh, Wales, who's watching us from the comfort of his bed. Good morning, Danny. No one else in the bed? Again? Well, shame, darling. What a shame. Perhaps that's because there's no room for anyone else in your little tiny bed, is there, lovey? Eh? Oh, never mind. There's always tomorrow. The sun'll come out tomorrow, except not in your bedroom, unfortunately, Danny. It's been a while now, hasn't it? Never mind, lovey. Duke is always someone who's got someone in his bed. Good morning to Duke, who's watching. I think he's in España. Holla to Duke Chris this morning. Morning, Chris. Rob's there in Shrewsbury. Good morning to Wendy up in Leyland. Diane's down there, down southwest. Diane, good morning, Diane. Ronnie wants to know, where am I in the opening credits? If you watch it properly, you'll see yourself twice, possibly 3 times. Were you late for the show? There is always so worried about missing out on something. My best mate has got FOLO, fear of losing out. Whenever something's happening, he'll jump in. Oh, why haven't I got one of those? Oh, why am I not coming to that? Oh, why haven't I seen that? He's got FOLO. Have you got FOLO? I don't have FOLO. If something passes me by, oh well, bye-bye. We don't worry about it. He has FOLO. Morning, let's have a look. Look, he's corrected himself now. You see, he jumped in before they were even finished. Do pay full attention. A phone line will be opening very shortly, boys and girls, just not yet. By the way, Danny, I've got something about Welsh people for you this morning. Yes, we're going to offend as many people as possible today. We are. Good morning to Becky Moon. The lovely Becky's with us this morning. Jim Clark is there, planting in your Ralph Lauren. It's all right for some. Well, you know how it is, Jim. You know how it is. Get a bit of dirt on it, just throw it away and buy a new one. You know. Thank you for noticing. I am wonderful at choosing great clothes. I am my own fashion designer. I really am. Okay. It's good to see that you're talking to each other. Please use the chat to talk to each other. Oh dear. Did you hear that? Oh, don't say. Oh, I know. Don't say I've got a chest infection. Peter was in the central station last night and quietly announced in my ear, oh, I think I've got a bit of chest infection. I'll still sing. At which point I thought, don't blooming come near me. Too late. He's already told me. Don't say I've got your chest infection, Peter. You know, there's a few of us with compromised immune systems on the show this morning. Let me tell you that. Good morning, Jerry Green. Adam the plumber's there. Good morning, Adam. Pete is leaving the UK and going back to Brazil. Oh, do they do maracas in Brazil? Is that a maraca type country? I'm not sure if it is. Yes, good morning to you. Ant says, how's your weighing doing? My weight is dropping off. This morning's weight, Ant, this week's weight loss was ½ pound down. So I'm now 12 stone and 5 pounds. Thank you very much. Only 5 pounds to go. Which, after last night, might be a little bit difficult. I have something to tell you, boys and girls. Bless my heart. I have sinned. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death, amen. I have a sin, boys and girls, to tell you. Coming up later in the show. Don't rush me. It can't all come out at the same time. I've got to do the Welsh story first. Good morning to the lovely Merlin. Morning, Merlin. And Ronnie says, you are not on your own. I tell you what to wear. Well, did you tell me to buy this jacket? Did you tell me to wear this shirt? Notice the poppy appeal. That's all there. Make sure you buy your poppies. You can get something a little bit more expensive. When I say a little bit more expensive, I'm talking about 10 quid. Perhaps something like this. You know, I think that's about £6 for one of those, something like that. Or you can buy a paper one for 50 pence if you're a bit short of the old cash. Very important to give to those people who fought for us in the war. And that is why I can sit here and talk to you. And that is why you can walk around and do anything you want to. All right, boys and girls, put some money in that poppy thing. Right, Danny. Danny. Here we go then. Look at this. In this morning's Super Soaraway Sun. The junk food capital of the world is Wales. Not of the U. Oh, I beg your pardon. Incorrect. The junk food capital of the UK has been revealed, and it's bad news if you're from Welsh Wales. Welsh Wales from the valley. From the valley. Yes. A poll by vouchercodes.co.uk. Now, you remember I told you about voucher codes? Have a look on there. You can get all sorts of vouchers, possibly actually for afternoon tea, Ron. Might be worth having a look on there. I don't know why I haven't looked on there yet. Actually, I should look on there. They do afternoon teas. At the moment, we're paying full price for afternoon teas. You know. A poll by voucher codes has shown the residents of somewhere in Wales, I shall not reveal the place yet, spent the most money on fast food and takeaways. Well, I mean, Danny's on here now. He's still in bed. 12 o'clock in the blooming afternoon. I bet you're one. Are you going to order your breakfast from... I just thought... hello. Yeah, is that McDonald's? Yeah, can I have a breakfast, please? Yeah. Just send it round. Could you bring... the door's on the latch. Could you just bring it up so I don't have to move out of my bed and I can put even more weight on? Yeah, thank you. Bye. Danny's hoping a young lad's going to come up the stairs and better be some old bag. Old enough to be your mother. Mind you, you can get a toy boy. That's coming up in the show as well today. How to get a toy... Well, not necessarily how to get one, but someone who's got one. Someone who's got one. Coming up on the show today, boys and girls. Why would you want to be anywhere else other than watching this? And joining in, good morning to Ross, who joins us on YouTube this morning, and Machiavelli, who's joining us on Periscope, and Brendan Brady fan also, who's joining us on YouTube Live. Okay, here we go then. Voucher Codes has been looking at the nation's spending habits, revealed its residents of Cardiff. Residents of Cardiff spent the most on takeaways and fast foods, you fat people. Dear me. Why are we so fat? Because you keep eating crap, that's why, dear. Yeah, but we're happy being like this. Okay, that's fine. If you're happy being like that, then fine. But, I don't want to be like this. Well, you've got to do something about it. I was like that once. I was. That actually, I got to 14 stone earlier this year. I'm now 12.5. Well, I got to 14 stone this year. Hello, Georgia. Welcome along, darling. I wasn't as fat as I was about 28 years ago, I think. A round face and everything. You know, and and I wasn't really happy. You pretend you're happy, or I pretended I'm happy. There are people who are overweight, they're happy with it. That's fine. I've got no problem with that at all. You know, just bear in mind, it is a little bit light-hearted, this show, okay? Anyway, the story goes on in this morning's Super Soaraway Sun. It found, that's voucher codes, that people who live in the Welsh capital of Cardiff, are such huge fans of junk food, they splash out, are you ready for this, £86.80 every month on takeaways. That's £1,041 per year. Actually, £86.80 on a takeaway. That's less than I spend on an afternoon tea. One. Oh, it's outrageous, isn't it? Meanwhile, Oxford was named as the healthiest city. Well, I mean, Bracknell in Berkshire, we're practically in Oxford here. Healthy. Do I speak Italian? Not really, but ciao bella. I think that's a little bit of Italian. I'm really sorry, that's the only Italian I can do. Someone's asking me on the Periscope. Good morning to you. I have been to Italy several times. Rome is the most beautiful, wonderful city. Caked in history, isn't it? Absolutely caked in history. It goes on. People who live in the famous university in Oxford enjoy fine dining with meals out in restaurants, pubs and cafes, setting them back £1,270 a year. Is that the students? Oh, we got no money. Oh, we can't afford anything. We got no money. No, because you're spending it all on drink and fine foods, according to this. Meanwhile, Cambridge residents clearly prefer to cook at home, with the average resident spending £3,541 per year on groceries. Well, it must all be going to Waitrose then. I've become a savvy shopper. Told you that, didn't I? I go to Waitrose and Sainsbury's and Morrison's and Aldi. And I know what's cheaper at each one, although I nearly swore then. I mucked up yesterday, or it might have been Thursday. Can't remember. It doesn't matter which day it was. I went to Morrison's because there, 2 Quorn steaks are £2.50. Usually at Waitrose they're £3, which they were yesterday because I went there first. Sainsbury's, £2.70. Then from there I went to Sainsbury's to get... What did I got? I'd forgotten something. I went to Sainsbury's. Anyway, and they've only got them on special offer, £2. So I spent £5 unnecessary on... I'm just so ill. I feel ill now, darling. Oh, I've got to have a glass of water. So very, very unhappy about that. Really am. Danny Davies, you still there, dear? Are you one of these people? People living in Plymouth spend the most time online shopping. I don't get that online shopping. I bet Danny Davies does that while he's in bed. I bet he's ordered several things today while he's been... I won't get... I just order a few more things. Order. Yeah, hello? Yeah, can you just bring them upstairs so that I don't have to move out of bed? Thank you very much. Yeah. People in Liverpool, where my music and chat show is played out on DAB radio, are the most likely to hit the high street and shop in person, with the average Scouser dedicating 5 hours a week to shopping in store. How do you put up with those stuck-up people in shops as long as that? Unless you go to Waitrose, where it's very good, and John Lewis. Worst shop assistants I've found? Sainsbury's. Without fail, Sainsbury's. If they're young, Sainsbury's. The older ones, they're not too bad. There's some miserable bastards working on customer service in Sainsbury's. Not customer service, incorrect. Incorrect. On the self-service checkouts. There's some miserable bastards working on... Women and men. There'd be one to deal with about 10 checkouts. That's the Sainsbury's in Bracknell. I've even named it. Because I can. Because they're not advertising on this show. They're miserable as sin on that self-service checkout in Sainsbury's. Ghastly people. Ghastly, dear. However, what classifies as a treat, it says, Voucher Code says, what the spending map shows is that we are a nation who loves to treat ourselves. Treat us? I can't remember the last time I treated myself, dear. Barely got enough money for a can of baked beans downstairs. However, what classifies as a treat is very dependent on where you live. I mean, a treat could be a £900-odd Louis Vuitton bag, couldn't it, Ronnie? However, what classifies as a treat depends where you live, meaning one person's Friday night takeaway is another pair of shoes or an in-app purchase. Have you ever done that? An in-app purchase? I don't think I've ever done that because you get the free games. And this is what gets the children, isn't it? This is what gets the children. They buy it, they get a free game, and they start ordering extra bit. Let's buy another few men. If only we could. You know what I mean? Let's now buy another few men. So we've got, not men, lives. Let's buy another few lives and all that business. You know, £5, please. Let's buy some extra coins. £10.50, please. Bitcoin. Don't go Bitcoins. Don't know what they are. I've searched. I've read about them. Still don't get it. Bitcoins. What's all that about? Half of 1,500 adults who completed the poll described themselves as good with money and extremely frugal. That's me. Frugal. We must be frugal. Save those pennies. What for? To come out to one of my karaoke or quiz nights. That's what for. The average Brit blows all their wages 15 days after getting paid. Really? Do you do that? Blow your wages 15 days after getting paid. That is shocking. Why do you do that? I don't understand. A very good friend of mine, who will remain nameless, once he got into a bit of a debt. I think it was about £600 or something. He owed £600. I can't even remember what for now. This is a few years ago now. And he said, I don't know, I need some help with my debts. I said, well, what do you owe? And it was £600. Okay. I said, what have you got any jobs this week? He was a DJ. And he said, yeah, I got quite a lot of work this week. I said, well, how much do you get Monday? I don't work Monday. Okay. How much do you get Tuesday? Okay. So he was on, I don't know, £500 a week. I said, so you got £500 a week? Yes. Okay. What are your bills? Rent, I don't know, £700 a month. Food, got a mobile phone, and he wrote all this down for me. And I looked at it. I said, okay. I said, I can get you straight out of that debt. No problem at all. Take you just 3 months. And he's like, how? I said, stay in for 2 months. Oh, no, can't do that. Well, you asked me to help you. Well, there must be another way. No. There probably is another way. You can take a loan if you want to and pay even more than you owe now. Or you can stay in for 2 months. That's 8 weeks. I think he was 26 years old, 26 years old. That's 2 months out of the rest of your 80 years of life. I can completely clear your debts. All you got to do is stay in for 2 months. Oh, no, can't do that. You can't help people, can you? And I presume that a lot of people are like that. They just cannot control money. This is how so many people are getting into debt with their rent and stuff like that. The government, a conservative government, I think it was a conservative liberal government, so that's 2 years ago, you know, the coalition. I think it was them who decided that people on benefits, instead of having rent paid directly to the landlord, the rent is now paid directly to the benefit claimants, who then see the money but don't pay for the rent. You know, whatever it is, £500, £1,000. You know, there's your £1,000 for the rent. Pay your landlord. Oh, we've got £1,000. Oh, I'll pay the landlord later. And that's how it all goes wrong. People can't control their money. Now, I find that difficult to understand because I've always been able to control my money. Always. Haven't got so much? Okay, stop buying. End of. Stop going out. Don't need to do that. You know, instead, people sit there. You see them sit there, you know, in cafes on blooming iPads and this and that, ordering all this stuff. And then you know how they're going to pay for it. There's thousands of people like that. And because I am not like that, I don't understand how you can be like that. If you haven't got, I was taught, if you haven't got the money, you can't buy it, can you? Anyway, it goes on. The average Briton blows all their wages 15 days after getting paid, and as many as 53% said they often find themselves with no cash left at all. More than half of us are savvy enough to set ourselves a monthly budget, but 28% said they always found to stick to it. And again, I don't understand. Okay, all right, if it's winter and you know you've set so much aside for the heating and it's a very cold winter and that, then you have to put the heating on more. I understand that. I get that. All right? But what if you have decided to go out an extra week this month, therefore you haven't got the money. Now, you knew that money wasn't there to spend. So why have you spent it on a credit card? I don't get it. I have a credit card. I buy everything on my credit card, knowing exactly how much I've spent and how much I've got to pay back at the end of the month. The only reason I've got a credit card is because I get cash back on it, and at the end of the year, I get a lump sum back of everything I've bought. Money for nothing. It's the only reason I've got a credit card. 6 in 10 adults who took part in the study said they often buy new purchases behind their partner's back. You mean this? Oh, you naughty girls. Is that what you do, boys and girls? You naughty. Do you open an app on your phone? A secret app? Have you got a secret account from your partners, you naughty people? They buy new purchases behind their partner's back, with 43% of adults saying this has been a big cause of marital rows. So there we are. And that all comes off that junk food story there, boys and girls. Let's have a look here. Oh, gosh, there's a lot of bits here. Just a second. Cool, dear me. You have been sending. I can't do all the messages, my darlings. All right. Merlin wants to know, why are you doing an Indian accent for the Welsh? That wasn't an Indian accent, was it? From the valley, from Welsh Wales, in Cardiff. That's not an Indian accent, is it, Merlin? Besides, how do you know? Oh, gosh. Morning to Danny. Hola to you. Morning, Danny. Gary's there. Ashley, hello from Benidorm. Down. Oh, no, that's El Dorado, isn't it? Benidorm. How's that? I can't remember the theme music to Benidorm. I think I'd like to go to Benidorm one time, Ashley. I would. Merlin says £3,000. That's one shop in Waitrose. Oh, you go as well, do you? Danny says, since living on my own, I've become a very savvy shopper. Yeah, you save a fortune. I used to be spending £80, £90 a week in the same supermarket. Now it's more like 30 or 40. Honestly, it really is. Morning, Diane. Good morning to the lovely Diane. Morning, I hope you're well. They're having a Halloween fancy dress party on the Battersea Barge tomorrow night. Here's something for you to do. That's Sunday night. Starting at 7 o'clock, you can dress as outrageous as you want. If you are around, we would love to see you. I would love to, as always, working Diane. Working Diane. I hope the sound was all right for you on Thursday. I have to slap that young whippersnapper into order if it's not, my darling. Morning, Diane. Nice to see you. Pete's there. Good morning, Pete, who's on his way to the plane to fly back to Brazil. Weird. I hope you're flying business, lovey. None of those nasty seats in the back with your legs up someone's arse. It's not pleasant, is it? Come on, it really isn't very pleasant, Pete. It depends on what way you are, top or bottom, of course. The bag was £950, £15. Was it, Ronnie? Thank you. That's the Louis Vuitton bag that Ronnie bought his other half. That doesn't match with anything. That I'm not supposed to tell you that, okay? Good morning to Mufta. Morning, Mufta. Hope you're well this morning, Mufta. Thanks for joining in the conversation. Feel free to join in. Talk to each other as well. Talk to each other as well on here, okay? Danny says he never treats himself. Well, you should do, Danny, now and again. That's it. Treat yourself, Danny. A little Cornish pasty, perhaps, now and again. Or, become vegetarian. Just have the pastry. Don't have the dead animal in the middle of the pastry. Just have the pastry, lovey. All right? Yes. Okay. Let's have a look. Merlin says, quite right, Merlin. All work and no play, Danny. That's no good treating yourself. You must treat yourself. Treat yourself now and again. Good morning to Keith George joining us this morning. Merlin also uses his credit card like a debit card, clears it at the end of the month. I've done that for years. You need to know how much you can spend and how much you can't spend. I say it's easy. It's easy for me. I have understood this from a very, very young age. That's coming in. I can spend that. I understand that. I just don't get people who can't control their money spending. That is not a criticism of them. I just don't get it because I've never been like that. Number one thing to pay, rent and mortgage. You rent a place, pay that the first of your money. Or the mortgage, that must go first. Number two, council tax. Anything to do with government, pay it. For God's sake, pay it. Council tax and tax. Number three, electric. Electric, heat, water, food. At the bottom of the list, and you'll be surprised at this, is the bloke on the radio is always saying it, at the bottom of the list, credit cards. Surprised? Thought you would be. Credit cards. People tend to pay them first because the moment you go a day over, they're on that bloody phone, aren't they? It's never happened to me. I've seen it on. I've heard about this on one of the radio shows I listen to. Credit cards, they're on the phone, and that's why people pay them first because they're screaming and shouting down the phone to you. The mortgage people don't do that. They just take your house. All right? Credit cards right at the bottom. Ring them up. Come to some sort of agreement with them if you can. Darren says, who was the gorgeous black guy singing last night? Yes. I did offer him, actually, Darren, my hand in marriage last night, which unfortunately he turned down because someone else was he was with someone else, unfortunately. Now, and it was an unusual name. Was it Meta or something like that? Can't remember. If you go back on yesterday's karaoke night, I will mention his name just before he sings. So find where he is, go just before that, and you'll hear his name on there. If you could find that and tell me what his name is again there, Darren, yeah, he did have a very good voice. We had a lot of good singers there last night, wasn't he? Yes, Pete liked him as well. Pete liked everyone in there. Good God, I've never seen someone throw themselves at so many people in one night and get lucky with none of them. Morning, Pete. It was a pleasure to have you in there last night. Okay. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Diane. What a nice thing to say, Diane. My time there was finished. I'd had enough, Diane. You know that. We had this discussion months ago when I was working with you there, didn't we? I said to you then, I think this is going to be my last few weeks here. And then they decided to open till 3 o'clock now. That was it, mate. I'm sure you can't work till 3 o'clock, Diane, dear. You like to be in your cosy bed by about midnight, surely, Diane. Or are you an all-nighter? Are you an all-nighter as well? Morning to Minnie Anderson. Good morning, Sue and Minnie joining us today. Paul says treats are best if you have waited and saved for them. Yes. And similarly, Paul was having a conversation with my mate the other day about television. You know, you can, for example, Gunpowder, which I've just started watching. The first episode was last Saturday on BBC One, colour, okay? Also available on the iPlayer. So I forgot to record it on the Saturday. I went on the iPlayer and I watched episode 1. And very gory, dear. Oh, my God. They chopped up that woman in bits, didn't they? Of course, they're all complaining. Oh, we don't want to... That's terrible. That's really gory on the television at night on a Saturday night. Yeah, but it's a drama. And that's what they did then. In those olden times, what was it, 16th century? I don't know, somewhere, no, perhaps later than that. I don't know. Gunpowder, so Gunpowder, what era was that? Someone perhaps will know that. But yeah, they chopped off someone's head, and then they chopped up some woman. Oh, it was awful, awful. It was to do with them, they didn't like the Catholics. Hail Mary, full of grace. So we've done that already, haven't we? Yes, they didn't like the Catholics. So we got the Protestants and the Catholics. They hated the Catholics and they wanted to kill them all. And one of the things they did, they got this woman, because she'd been hiding a priest in one of her cupboards. And they found out and they took her to the place of punishment and executions. I don't know what it's called. Okay, so they put this... So they've laid her down. First of all, they stripped her naked. And you saw all this on the telly. Not that that's anything to be excited about, seeing someone naked on the telly anymore. That's a normal thing now, isn't it? You know, you saw that, oh, I was a naked person. And you remember when you was a child and, like, something of a sexual nature was mentioned on the telly while you're watching the telly with your mum and dad. How embarrassing was that? Now it doesn't matter. The stuff my nephew says to me is unbelievable, Gary. God's sake, rude, dear. Anyway, so they stripped off this woman, completely naked. They told her, you know, say sorry, please say sorry. No, not going to say sorry. Anyway, so they laid her down like that, tied her down like that, and they put this big metal thing on top, like, I don't know, a metal door or something, right up. And then they picked up weights, and they put these really heavy weights on her. And, oh, it was awful. You heard her bones cracking. Awful. Just awful. And then they chopped her up in bits. Chopped off arms and things like that. It was awful. Anyway, so that's the story. It's very, very good, actually. Gunpowder. I think that's what it's called. Gunpowder. It must be called Gunpowder, which is, of course, about Guy Fawkes. So I'm watching it on the iPlayer. Got to the end, and it said, watch episode 2 now. And I thought, well, that's odd. It hasn't been on yet. Anyway, it turns out that the whole series, which is on every Saturday night, so episode 2 tonight, but the whole series is now available on the iPlayer to watch. And I thought, oh, right. And I didn't know the BBC did that. I mean, do they do that with Doctor Who? No, when Doctor Who starts, can you watch the whole series on there? Don't know if they do that. And I was having this conversation with my mate Ronnie about this sort of thing the other day. And I think... And I have done it before. I've watched 2 or 3 episodes of the same thing. But I know people, a little bit like yourself, probably Danny Davies in Welsh Wales, you know, sits there, you know, in bed. I've woke up for 10 minutes. Let me just watch some stuff on the telly, you know, while he's there with his remote, because he don't move from the bed at all. He's been there for months. It's just this mass in the bed, you know, damaging the bed by laying there permanently and barely moving, except to lift up his fingers to eat something. And with his remote control. I can imagine Danny do this. And they spend a whole day watching, I don't know, you know, Star Trek. Or a whole day watching Gunpowder, because they're all there. And when you do it like that, I think you miss something. I think something is missing when you do that, and you're kind of like years ago before iPlayer and all that stuff. When a show was on, you had to wait for the next one. There was an excitement building up. Doctor Who is a good example. It's made differently now. Doctor Who is now, each episode is a story, unless they do a two-parter, right? Doctor Who used to be like one story would be 6 episodes of half an hour each. And you get to the end of the half hour and there'd be a cliffhanger. And the whole week you were looking forward, wonder what's going to happen on Doctor Who next week. Well, if you watch them all at the same time, you lose that. You absolutely lose that. And I think people are losing something there by watching a whole series in a day or a few hours. I do think you're losing out. There's nothing to look forward to. And that's why I mentioned that, because of now who was it who said something? Someone said something there. There we go. As Paul Adamson says, treats are best if you have waited and saved for them. Well, similar with the television, isn't it? You know, look at it like a treat. So every Saturday night you watch Doctor Who, and end of the series, you know, there's a man standing above Doctor Who with a knife, and it finishes. Is he going to die or isn't he? Well, you know he's not going to die, don't you? But there's that slight little doubt in your mind. Maybe this is the programme where he's going to be stabbed to death, like my bag of earth at the beginning of the show today. And you've got a whole week. Oh, and then Saturday comes. Oh, it's Saturday today. Doctor Who's on later. How exciting. You've lost that if you watch them all in one go. So I highly recommend that you don't do box sets, you know, because you do lose that. All right? Merlin's fallen out with BT. They rang me saying, we're going to cut you off unless you pay your bill. I said to them, oh, don't. I didn't know I hadn't paid it. How much is it? They said £0. Really? How stupid people are, aren't they? Large companies are really stupid. Thank you. Pete. The black guy working behind the bar is Jacob. No. No. What's his name? Oh, God. Who's the black guy who works behind the bar? We got 2. We got Mustafa. I think you mean the other one. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I can't remember his name now, Pete. I'll find out for you. Okay. Merlin, thank you. Gunpowder 1605. So it was the 16th century that was filmed. Paul says the woman was squashed. It was a young male priest that was hung, drawn and quartered. I beg your pardon. Yeah. So the woman under the metal thing, she was squashed. Oh, it was awful. When they put that weight on and you heard all her bones cracking. Of course, she died. Squashed to death. And there was a young priest as well that they killed. And he was hung. You know, so, and while he was still alive, didn't they disembowel him as well? They cut open his stomach and started pulling out intestines. He's still alive! That's what they used to do then. Ghastly people. Awful people. Thank you, Paul. I've not got the phones open at the moment, Keith. Don't know if I will today. We'll have to see how we get on. Diane says, I am nocturnal. I could actually stay up all night and sleep all day, but now I'm... You're not 49, are you, Diane? Ooh, I'm sure you're younger than that, lovey. She can do both. It seems as you get older, you don't need as much sleep. Yeah, I go along with that. I don't think you do. Paul also says, I don't see the point in binge watching. That's what it's called, isn't it? Binge watching. Pleasure should be spaced out and deferred. It should be. Pleasure should be spaced out and deferred. That's why I never went to Chariots every single night. Darren's, his name is Chiz. Thank you. Chiz was the black guy who sung on the stage. The black guy who works behind the bar. Oh, God. I just cannot get... and it's got this. 2 of them have got the same name and I can't remember it. I don't think it's Jacob. Damn, why can't I remember his name, Aaron? Oh, it might... Hang on a minute. Just a minute. Let's see if it's on here. I might have it. I haven't got his phone number, but I've got the... one of the assistant managers has got the same number. So it might come up on here. One moment, please. I'll find out for you, and then you can ring up, can't you, you see? Then you can ring up. Jordan! Thank you, Jordan. His name's Jordan. The black camp one who works behind the bar is Jordan. That's in Central Station. Very popular. Good morning to Tony Freddie Lee. Good morning, Tony. Hope you're well this morning. Have you finished making your pond yet for the ducks? Are you having ducks? He's building a pond. He's very, very clever with his hands, aren't you, Tony? Yes, he's building a pond with fishes. I think you need ducks as well. Make sure there's no cats in the area. Feathers everywhere, dear. Oh, God. Feathers everywhere. Talking of feathers, I was listening to someone on the radio last night who I quite like. Nick Abbott on LBC. Leading Britain's Conversations, 97.3 FM. And all over the UK, or whatever the jingle is now. And he was saying he came out the other day and there was this great big bird eating a pigeon on the floor. And he went into great detail of exactly what happened. It was, I was listening, I was howling on the way. It's not funny, really, is it? The death of another being. It's not. It's not. I've started carefully putting flies outside. And the reason for that is I was watching, what was it? We were watching something the other day. Something that was getting killed, and I can't remember what it was now. It might have been an alien or another animal or species. Anyway, something was getting killed on the telly. And my mate was there. We were watching this together. And I looked over at him and I said, well, it's horrible, isn't it? And I think it's because it could... I don't know if it was a film or a documentary or what now. But one was killing the other because it didn't understand... Star Trek. Thank you, Star Trek. That's it. It was Star Trek. It was the first or second episode of the brand new series of Star Trek Discovery, now available on Netflix. Okay? And it was this great big monster and all this business. And they wanted to kill it because it was horrible and it kept attacking people. And then the girl, Michael, great actress, was saying, why do you want to kill it? Well, it's going to kill it. Well, you don't understand it. You don't understand it. And she got to understanding it that it was killing everyone because it was trying to get something to survive. So they gave it the thing and it stopped killing people. Right? And I looked around at my mate and I said, is that the same as us killing wasps? And he said to me, I think it is. And since then, I can't kill anything now. Whether it's a fly, a wasp, a spider. Oh, I don't know if I'll come across one of those great big blooming things. Oh, with the legs like this that are possibly waiting under your bed tonight. Evil spiders, dear. I get something, and it usually flies. They go up and down windows, don't they? They tend to be attracted to a window, and they go up and down windows. You just open the window and usher them out. Not you open the window. Please leave the house, fly. It's not quite like that. You get a bit of paper and you just, you kind of go like that, don't you? And it's gone. Wasps as well. Although I've come across very few wasps this year. Hardly any insects anywhere, as they were saying on the news, and that's absolutely true. I'm now finding it hard to kill anything. That's probably a good thing. Probably a good thing. One moment, please. Danny works 50 hours a week. When? Come on, Danny. When do you work 50 hours a week, Danny? You're in that bed all the time. Oh, what can I watch now? Click, click, click. Is there anything left on the telly you haven't seen yet? Tony, I'm working in Central Station tonight. We've got singing sensation Kelly. Gloria, Gloria. Da, 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 da. Are you coming tonight? It's only a drag show. I'm only there for a short time on a Saturday, Tony. 9:30 to midnight. I'm there on a Saturday night. Nice, easy night for me. I say easy, as long as the sound on the music's all right. That's what it's all about. Hello to T Totty. Magusus. I'm not quite sure what that means. Magusus. Do let us know what that means, all right? So that's where I am tonight, Tony. I haven't got any fish for you, I'm afraid. What did you want to go shopping for ducks for your pond? We can go and get... we can go and get some ducks. Shall we buy some or just steal some from a pond somewhere? Because apparently with ducks, once you put them on a pond, that's it. They think they're at home. That's it. They're home. Did you know that? They won't fly anywhere. You put them on the pond where they are. That's it. Quack, quack, quack. Oh, we're home. I love it. I'm still going to tell you in a minute. Do you want a toy boy, anyone? It's coming up in a minute. Let's have a look here. I can't do the. I can't do all the. There's just too many messages to read them. Sorry. Diane says it really disturbs me when I see posts from performers who have been abused on stage. Why do some people think that? Because that you're on stage ready to be touched up. We're all out to be there to entertain and not be embarrassed and degraded in front of people. We all work hard and travel to many places. I'm lucky it hasn't happened to me. Diane, there might be a reason for that, lovey. Is there a reason it hasn't happened to you? I think you'll dug your own grave there. Now, I just want to make a point here, Diane, and I've said this many times before. What I don't like is people abusing cabaret artists. You're absolutely right. When they shout things or they stand there and talk to their performances, rude. However, there are one or two people, don't touch me. I'm not like that, Diane. I'm not like that. And actually, I have now started, Diane, to be honest with you, publicly announcing at the beginning of my nights, when I walk around talking to people, if you want to have a little feel or a touch, that's okay by me. I'm not taking any prisoners. I'm not going to take anyone to court for abuse or anything like that. I need to be touched. When I'm walking around there, you touch. Diane, if you're ever at one of my shows and you want to touch me as I walk around, I want you to touch me. No holds barred. Just have a good grab. There's not so much of me to grab now, though, Diane. Only 12 stone, 5 pounds of it. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks, Diane. Tony's got 3 ducks already. Oh, give a duck a home. I like that, Tony. You are every animal's friend. Tony has got 3. I hope you're not fattening him up for Christmas. You need to become a vegetarian, Tony. There are some lovely... Go and look at the beautiful carrots that are in your preferred supermarket of your choice. Unless they're in bags. Which I think is cruel to carrots. Because they can suffocate, Carrots do suffocate. Morning, Darren. I remember the story of a guy who received a letter from the bank because he was overdrawn by 1 pence. They charged him £20 administration fee. He wrote back and charged them the same for the time it took him to respond. Yeah, you got to do that thing. You have got to do that thing. Yes, Danny's got his own pub. Well, what a shame you're not downstairs running the damn thing, dear. Oh, what can I watch on the telly now? Morning to Ari. Good morning, Ari. Welcome along to you. Tony's coming tonight. Okay, I'll see you tonight, Tony. You might fancy Kelly, actually, our singer. Gloria, you'll love it. You'll love it. Good morning, Graham Lang. Good morning, Graham. Have you seen him yet? Jacob Rees-Mogg was on Question Time this week. They love him, don't they? The left and the right. They love Jacob Rees-Mogg because he's very, very posh. Oh, good morning. My name is Jacob Rees-Mogg and I'm Roman Catholic and I stick by the Bible. I like him because he speaks his mind. That's why. He speaks the truth. There's no fannying about with him. He just tells you how it is. A little bit similar to that Galloway bloke. What's his name? Is it James Galloway? Jim Galloway? Can't remember now. I mean, very left. Galloway. Someone Galloway. He does a show on Talk Radio. I quite like him as well. Now, he's left. Jacob's right. I like them both. If you speak your mind, I think that says a lot for people when they speak their mind. None of this hiding, telling people what they want to hear. What's all that about? That's just hiding behind your curtains and all that. Okay. Is it mating season, is it, Tony? Oh, okay. Is that why you're coming down tonight to see me? I'm pushing the boundaries today. I really am. Let's have a look. Hello to Dave Holland. Don't forget to turn those clocks back tonight. Yeah, that's right. An extra hour in bed today. I'm very pleased about that. Very pleased about that. But, really? Ducks poo everywhere, do they? Well, just Just clear it up and stop moaning. Poor ducks have got to go somewhere, haven't they? Jacob Rees-Mogg was on LBC this week in place of all people, James O'Brien. And they can be more difficult, those two. But that's nice. You know, that's nice. I enjoyed the show. I listened to part of it. I'm going to record the rest of it. Right. Toy boys. Who wants a toy boy? Who wants a toy boy? Ladies, come on. Who wants a toy boy? Check this out. In this morning's Super Soaraway Daily Mirror. It's the day. What's the time? Daily Mirror. Here we go. One moment, please. John, an electrical engineer with a 34-year-old son, has said he even intends to marry his teenage girlfriend. Check this out. The story. Former mayor, 62, leaves wife for farm worker, 19, and insists they are very much in love. I think there's money exchanging hands here, don't you, everyone? Do you think someone might have seen the golden wallets by any chance? Or did they really love each other? I love you. I love you. A former mayor, aged 62, who left his wife for a 19-year-old farm worker, has... Does it say it's a girl? I don't know, darling. Let's have a look here. Because we've heard those other stories as well, haven't we? People leaving their wives for young men. Shocking what goes on. Father David down at the Corpus Christi in Wokingham wouldn't know what to say. We are very much in love, they are saying. John Copsey met Daisy Tomlinson. Daisy? That's a very old-fashioned name, isn't it? Daisy, Daisy, give me your... I can't remember the words to that one. John Copsey met Daisy Tomlinson during their year of his civil service in Bridlington, Yorkshire, and now they are living together. Oh, his ex-Jackie, 63, who first got together almost 40 years ago, said, I think he's gone nuts. Nuts, whole hazelnuts. Ooh, Cadbury's take them and they cover them with chocolates. He's always been a bit of a player, but this is beyond a pale. But the loved-up couple, who have been pictured walking around their local town hand in hand, don't see any problem with the 43-year-old age gap. We are very much in love and intend to marry, said Mr. Copsey. You can put that down as our official engagement. There is nothing more to it. Daisy added, we are very happy. We are at a loss while anyone is interested. It's quite boring. I bet you are as well, my love. My parents are happy. They say I am happy as long as I am happy. Jackie said that she thought nothing of it when Daisy posted an image of her wearing the mayoral chains on Facebook. Chains? What sort of story is this? Am I reading this correctly? And when they told John that the teenager had come up and pinched his bum one day, which incidentally, bum pinching, when I'm at my gigs, you can come and do that if you want to. While I'm walking around, you want a little bit, no, please don't bruise. Don't bruise me. If you want to have a little pinch of my bum, that's okay. Touch, pinch, anything you want. You do that. That's what I'm there for. To be abused as I walk around. And when John told her a teenager had come up and pinched his bum one day, she replied, aren't you the lucky one to have such a young admirer? Yes, he is. I wish I did. But around Christmas last year, he began receiving frequent calls from the girl, according to Jackie. And earlier this year, it emerged that they had begun dating. Jackie said she confronted Daisy, telling her, you're young, your heart will soon mend. John is old enough to be your grandfather. But the teenager insisted the pair had fallen in love. Love is a many splendid thing. Jackie said she tried to convince John to stop seeing the younger woman, but the romance continued. What a shame, Jackie. Oh well. She told the Daily Mail she threw him out of the marital home last month, and now they face a painful breakup process. Jackie believes the relationship won't last and can't understand what the pair have between them. Really? Do you want me to spell it out for you, lovey? Perhaps it's because she'll just listen to him and not question anything, whereas I don't. Well, perhaps you should learn to keep your mouth shut, lovey. Then you might be able to hold on to him. Or Is it the... That's the question. I don't know. Well, Jackie, I think you might have a point there at the end. It might be the... Oh, come on, Jackie. Stop moaning, woman. Get yourself someone young as well. Be honest, Jackie. Who wants to go out with someone with their own bloody age anyway, eh? Oh, dear. You want to see the amount of 50 and 60-year-olds who send me messages on these apps? I don't want someone like that. Anything between 30 and 40 do me. Might even go as far as 40 years and 1 month. I haven't decided yet. But I must say, certainly on some of the gay dating apps, the word twink, I think, is thrown around a little bit too much now. Yeah, they make me laugh. They make me laugh on here. They say, oh, Mark, I'm a 28-year-old twink. Sorry? No, you're not, mate. You're a 28-year-old. Or, hello, my name's Josh. I am a 23-year-old twink. No, you're not. You're 23 years old. Twink is up to 20. God, they stretch it. They really do. Gary's with us on YouTube today. Hello, Gary, who says, good afternoon, old goat. Bear. But no, that's a sheep, isn't it? Bear. Mary says, 45 to 56. Oh, please, Mary. Mary don't care what age they are. Do you, Mary, love? We love Mary. And as we've got Mary on, I need to thank Mary last night because she did some wonderful things last night. I just remembered something, Mary. Okay. Let me think. Okay. Thank you very much to Mary, who did some wonderful things last night for DJ Chris's birthday. It was fantastic. The cake, which the bar bought the cake over there. She was in charge of cake cutting last night. And I know I'm on Slimming World, but when it's on someone's birthday, I do allow myself to have a little bit of cake. A little bit of cake. So Mary said, do you want a bit, love? She's lovely, Mary. Non-Irish Mary from Ireland. Do you want a bit of cake? She says. I said, yes, please. So she had gone out and bought the paper. I don't think Mary bought the cake. That was from the bar, wasn't it? She'd bought the little polystyrene bowls, which not very good for the environment, I have to say, Mary. Please, paper plates and cups. No polystyrene, no plastic. Very bad. Fish are eating bits of plastic, dear. Have you seen them? Fish are eating bits of plastic. I mean, you're practically at death's door if you want to eat that nasty sushi stuff. Oh, vile. Raw fish going around on a conveyor belt. What's all that about? Yo sushi and sushi this, and they've even got a sushi bar in blooming Waitrose now. Ghastly. Ghastly. Gary says, try and stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I am, Gary. Didn't you know? We are. We're actually, I use a service called Restream. Have a look. Restream, and I'll tell you what I'm on in a minute. Actually, let me finish this conversation first, and then I'll tell you how I do it, okay? Yes, and anyway, so she's given me this bowl. There you go, love. And I looked, well, where is the cake? She said, it's in there. And I had to look. I had to put my glasses on. My God, I've never seen such a thin slice of birthday cake in my life. Jeez. I said, well, where's the rest of it? She said, well, that's it. I don't know how on earth she managed to cut the thinnest slice of birthday cake I've ever seen in my entire life. When I was a dead animal eater and I used to go to the shop, I remember my mum used to go to Sainsbury's in Peckham. That's before it was DIY, not DIY, self-service. There used to be, I kid you not, round about 1967, Sainsbury's in Peckham, all marble tables and tops. He's like, oh, can I have that can of baked beans, please? And I have that can of peas over there. And can we have a quarter of ham? And then he would put this big bit of ham on this machine and turn it on. The thing would be rounding as pieces of dead animal were cut into thin slices. Well, the bit of cake that Mary cut last night was even thinner than that. Jesus. When I go to church on a Saturday morning at the Corpus Christi in Wokenham, the host, the piece of bread is thicker than the bit of cake she cut last night. So I said, can I have another bit? So another bit arrived, just the same, that thin. So I waited till she went away, and then I asked for another bit, and someone said, oh, Mary's cut it. I said, don't let Mary cut it. You give me a bit. So as he's cutting it, Mary approached the table. Where's that go? It's too big. It's for him up there. She said, no, it's too big. So then, do you know what she did then? Then she cut another bit of cake with, can I have more icing this time, I said. And it came up, and she had purposely stuck metal ball bearings to the top, well, they look like metal ball bearings to me, to the top of this icing, like that. I bit into it, well, half my teeth fell out. Dangerous. She tried to kill me while I was doing my karaoke. But don't worry, Mary, because I'm never offended. Never offended. Do say anything you want. I'm from a generation that is not offended. We are the generation with the sense of humour. Sense of humour. Do you remember that, lovies? Do you remember that? Sense of humour? When people used to say things and you used to just laugh it off. Oh, I'm offended. Don't worry, Mary. I know you tried to kill me last night by putting metal ball bearings on top of this cake. Bit into the... teeth came out all over the place. Awful. Ghastly woman. We want a bit of cake. Just because you're on... Listen, if you're on Slimmer's World, it's absolutely pointless. Oh, just have a little bit of cake. Why even bother? Why even bother having a little bit of cake like that? I'm telling you, have I got something here that is about that? Right. Here we go. Here we go. You see this booklet. You see this Poppy Appeal booklet. Very good, incidentally. Buy some Poppy stuff. Poppyshop.org.uk. Raise money for the people that helped us in the wars, all right? Okay. So if I showed you that, you see that, right? Right? And I'm not exaggerating. I'm seriously not... Okay, cross my heart. Right? I'm not exaggerating. That is how thick these pieces of cake were. That's how thick it was. I had 4 pieces. 4 pieces. 2 of those when Mary had her back turned. If you're going to have a piece of cake, if you're going to break the slimming world, then break it. Don't do it a little bit. Just do it. Piece of cake. Piece of cake needs to be like that. Okay? Or like that. Piece of cake. Like that. Not like that. Came out of there. I had to rush home and have my dinner. I was so hungry. Dreadful. Oh, please. Here, look at the lies that she's coming out with now. They were the balls that you put on the top of a wedding cake. Well, I've never been to a wedding where I have metal ball bearings on the top, what you would usually put in some sort of gun if you're in America. Metal ball bearings on top of the cake. Tried to kill me. Unbelievable. Happy Halloween, everyone. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Yes. Tomorrow. Tomorrow? No, Tuesday. Tuesday is Halloween, isn't it? Tuesday is Halloween. Good morning to Terry. Hello, Terence Redpath. Happy Halloween, Diane, from the Elephant and Castle. Do you know Terence Redpath? Ah, good, good, good. Ryan's there. How are you right now? I am high on life, Ryan. I am high on life. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything like that. I'm just high because I'm talking to you. And we like to have a little bit of a conversation this time of the morning. Yes, we do. Graham says, can you imagine raw cow and pig being served like sushi? Pig bar on a pig. Oh, ghastly. How can anyone have that? Nasty. Plans for Halloween? Not really, Dave. Just a normal weekend to us. Really, Halloween? Nothing extra happening. There's a few decorations in one of the places I work, and tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow, Sunday night tomorrow, so I'll be doing karaoke at the Camden Eye in Camden Town tomorrow night, if you want to come and join us down there. 8 till 10:45, free entry there. Happy birthday to Gary Cambridge today. We do the birthdays at the end, all right, my darling? So don't worry about that. All right, Diane, I've got Diane in stitches this morning. Good, Diane, good. That's what it's about, having a bit of a laugh. No one wants to have a laugh anymore, Diane. They're all so bloody offended all the time. Hello to Caroline Smith in Louisiana. That sounds a nice place. I imagine Louisiana as a bit kind of Western movie. Would I be right like that? You know, like tumbleweeds going down and dirt tracks, or am I sort of stuck in the 1970s there? I suppose I probably am, really, aren't I? I just imagine, what's it like in Louisiana? Anyway, talking to people who can't have a joke, poor old Michael Gove. Now, he's not my favourite politician. I cannot lie to you, boys and girls. Especially when he stabbed poor old Boris in the back. Actually, it was one of Adam the Plumber's friends was in the pub last night, one of the pubs I work at, Central Station Karaoke, Friday, 8:30 to midnight. And he had hair like Boris Johnson. I did have to mention it several times to him as I walked past. Let me come to that story in a second. Gary wants to know about this. Yes, Gary, who's watching on YouTube. I do. I am on... 1 second. How do I get that now? There we go. Oh, no, can I move that? Oh, I can't see it. Damn, I can't actually see it. I can't move my chat thing. How do I move that? Maybe I can move it on here. 1 second. Oh, there we go. Right, let's try it now. See if I can see it now. I'll tell you what I want. It's on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, Twitch, Smashcast, and Vaughan Live. All at the same time, okay? And from here, I can see who's watching where as well. I can see who's watching well, all right? Hello to Kemsden Bloke, who's in South Carolina. Good morning, sir. Welcome along to the show there. All right, Gary? So I use a system called Restream. I have to pay for that, actually. It's about £10 a month, something like that, to get the Facebook one as well. I suppose they all have to make money. So that one cost me about £10 a month. And it's on all those different things. And they're adding more services as time goes on. So I check back now and again, and I might add to another one or something like that. But that's how it works. All right, Gary? Thanks for the interest on that, sir. Okay, so Michael Gove's in trouble, boys and girls. Michael Gove's in trouble. Are you ready? Are you ready? Now, let's hear what you think about this one, okay? Cabinet Minister Michael Gove was forced to apologise for a disgusting joke comparing difficult radio interviews with entering Harvey Weinstein's bedroom. Now, here's what he said, okay? The Tory MP was brandished a gormless pillock, unfunny cretin and massive tool after his remarks on BBC Radio 4 Today. Good morning. The Radio 4 Today programme with Chris Reid. I think I could do that. Do I need to put a posh voice on that for the Today programme? BBC Radio 4. Thank you. Anyway, he told presenter, right, so here's the scenario, okay? He told the presenter, John Humphreys, sometimes I think coming into the studio with you is a bit like going into Harvey Weinstein's bedroom. You hope to emerge with your dignity intact. Now, I'm sorry. I see the funny side of that. Why can't these permanently offended see the funny side to anything? Do you see the funny side to that? Is it me? Is it me? Is there something wrong with me that finds stuff like that funny? What do you think? It's just a joke. For Christ's sake, man, it's just a joke. He didn't offend or didn't want to do anything. He just having a joke, just trying to lighten up the mood a little bit. This is not dissimilar to what I do here for an hour most days now. We just want to lighten the mood of the world a bit and entertain, have a bit of a laugh. Why can't people do that anymore? I mean, it's just ridiculous. The story goes on, or it would do if I could move the thing down. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no, Chroma's crashed. I can't go back to it. How annoying is that? I'll have to leave that story, I think. Let me see. Should we try and refresh? Will it refresh? No, nothing. Not moving now. Oh gosh, I hope that hasn't affected your messages. Let's close that. That may well affect your messages as well. Here we go. Paul says, if it was Neil Kinnock that made it all sexual by saying John goes further than groping. Grove didn't make it sexual. No, I know. There are so many miserable people out there, Diane. They just can't get a joke. But what gets me, Diane, and everyone else, is that when these people come out and say, well, that's really offensive, no one then goes against them. Do you see what I mean? Once someone has been so-called offended, no one then goes against them. I've noticed this on the telly or on the radio or anywhere like that. It's not a case of being polite. I think I consider myself a very polite person. I do. You know, I let people out of roads, not Uber taxis. I never let an Uber taxi in front of me. Never, ever, ever give way to never give way to a Toyota Prius. Never do it. Because you won't get thanks. You won't get a flash of lights. There'll be nothing. Is it Clem? Clemson bloke says I get bent out of shape over people's comments. Yeah. Yeah. Does the chat thing erase words? Oh, okay. Just a second. Oh, I'm not quite sure what they're... people are too sensitive. You're absolutely right. People are too sensitive. Now, for years, strangely enough, and I'm going to let you into a little secret here, I've been gay. Right? I work in straight places. I work in gay places. Don't matter to me. It's another job. And I've had my bum slapped by straight lads. You're right, you old puff. Slap. How's it going today then, mate? Am I offended by that? Absolutely not. They're just having a laugh. Why? Oh, why can't people see that? And I watch some of this crap on the news of the latest person who's been offended by something pathetic again. Certain religious people who get really offended by stuff. You know, I'm Catholic. I go to church, practicing. Right? Practicing. But when the cartoons come out on Good Friday in some of the newspapers and show funny depictions of perhaps Jesus hanging from the cross or something, I don't get offended. Laugh it off. No, they have to go to town. They take people to court. People take people to court for this. He said this, she said that. Get a backbone, will ya? Sticks and stones may break my bones. Words will never harm me. True, isn't it? It's absolutely true. All right. Graham says we all need to lighten up, for goodness sake. When does any joke not offend? You know, I've worked with drag queens for years and years. Wonderful entertainers, some of them. Some of them not so good. Some of them fantastic, some of them not so good. That's only my opinion. My opinion. Okay, an artist, an actor who I don't like, a celebrity who I don't like, may be liked for other people. Just a personal thing, right? But I've worked with drag queens for many years, and certainly for those first 15 years, they could go on the stage and entertain and say anything they want to say. Anything. And it would be taken as a joke by the whole audience. Now, it's actually rare to get for a whole show about some idiot. And you are an idiot in the audience being offended, generally on behalf of someone else. We have a wonderful black drag queen in London called Sandra. She is at the top of the tree. She is hilarious. And our black drag queen Sandra does black jokes. She does jokes about black people, and she is black herself. Who do you think complains? The black people in the audience? No. Occasionally, you'll get usually someone around my age, some white, balding, overweight, That's a generalisation. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. You'll get some. It won't be a black person that complains. It will be someone white in there that complains that the black community may be offended by jokes about black people from a black artist. Do me a favour, will you? Shut up! Why do they have to comment? Just go. Just go. That's what we used to do when we didn't like something on the telly. We turned it off. We didn't start ringing up newspapers and taking people to court. The only people benefiting from all this crap are solicitors. They really are. Strange, isn't it? It's really strange. Some of your messages here. Just a second. Sorry, darling. Diane says, I think, Chris, it's because people that have been abused in the past and were allowed to tell them. Now it's become open to people to talk freely. They don't have to put up with it. It's all about being respected. There's more to it than just being touched up. Oh, I know that. I know that, Diane. But I still say, if you want to touch me up while you're walking around, then please feel free to do so. All right, darling. Hello to Dennis Granger, who loves Sandra. She's just brilliant, Sandra. It's amazing. It really is. It really is. All righty. There we are. Michael Gove. There you go. After inappropriate joke, which is the one I just read you in the Daily Mail. That might be a different take on it. But I'm going to disappear now, boys and girls. We'll do today's birthdays. Okay, it's birthday time. If you want to send in an email, that's fine. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address. All right, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address. If sometimes people want to send a friend's request on Facebook rather than just follow me, that's okay. But please send some sort of message with your friend request as well, so that I know you're not like a dodgy person. There's quite a lot of dodgy people sending messages and getting, I don't know what, I'm not quite sure what they do, but you know, you're not supposed to accept messages from certain people. All right. Okay, we'll do today's birthdays and then I'm going to go and have my dinner. Happy birthday today to Shannon Page White. Happy birthday, Shannon. A young 22 years old today. Is that your little baby there you've got with you in that Facebook picture? How beautiful. Happy birthday to you, Shannon. Happy birthday today to Barbara Campbell, who's 44 years old today. Happy birthday, Barbara. Mark's story today is a young 46 years old. Happy birthday, Mark. And Lisa Donahue is it Donahoe or Donahue? Donahoe, I think it is. Lisa Donahoe today is 26 years old. Happy birthday, gang. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Shannon, Barbara, Mark and Lisa. Happy birthday to you. All right? If you're wondering where I get the birthdays from, they come up on my friend's birthday list, boys and girls. If it is someone else's birthday that you know and you'd like me to sing it, but they're not on my friends list, then feel free to send us in a little. Did you like my singing, by the way, Diane? Perhaps I could do a guest spot in your show. I think that would go down very well, don't you? Eh? As I say, if you want your birthday mentioned and you're not on the Facebook friends birthday list, then just send us a message, possibly a couple of days before, so it allows me to prepare everything, okay? And I'll happily sing it for you or do messages, anything like that. Just pop us in an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Pete missed the name of the barman was, I've forgotten again, 1 minute. Jordan. Name of the barman was Jordan. All right? Happy to help. Thanks very much, boys and girls. You have a lovely Saturday. Thank you very much, everyone who's joined in with their messages and everything today. The show is not scheduled. It's not at the same time every day. Just keep an hour. If you're on facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK and you're following me, you should get a little notification when we're live, okay? Facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. If you can't be with us for the live show, don't worry. It goes up again as a recording shortly after I finished. And I'll see you again very soon. Have a nice Saturday. Bye-bye now.